Can a carefully curated Instagram profile hide a billion-dollar secret? Meet Hushpuppi, the self-proclaimed billionaire Gucci master who dazzled the world with his luxury lifestyle while orchestrating one of the largest scams in history. But how did this glitzy empire crumble? Let's dive into the untold story. The rise of Hushpuppi. From humble beginnings to international infamy, Ramon Abbas, globally infamous as Hushpuppi, began life in the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, a place teeming with energy yet overshadowed by poverty. He was raised in Owaran Shoki, a densely populated, underprivileged area marked by limited opportunities and daily struggles. His childhood was one of financial hardship, where basic needs were often a luxury. Despite the odds, Abbas harbored big dreams of escaping the constraints of his environment. While many peers pursued honest, albeit modest, livelihoods, Abbas veered toward more dubious means. Driven by ambition and desperation, he chose a path that promised fast wealth, but carried devastating consequences. When Ramon Abbas rebranded himself as Hushpuppi, he transformed into the epitome of luxury on social media. His Instagram account, boasting over 2.5 million followers, became a digital showcase of extravagant wealth. He posed confidently in designer outfits from Gucci and Versace, flaunted his fleet of Rolls Royces and Ferraris, and shared glimpses of his lavish stays at Dubai's prestigious Palazzo Versace Hotel. Every post radiated success. However, beneath the glamour lay a carefully constructed facade, masking the criminal activities that fueled his opulent lifestyle. It was all a dazzling deception. Hushpuppi's Instagram posts were masterpieces of digital allure, each image and caption meticulously crafted to project unparalleled wealth and ambition. His profile brimmed with snapshots of private jets, designer wardrobes, luxury cars, and exotic vacations, captivating millions of followers who admired his seemingly meteoric rise to success. His captions often included motivational quotes, reinforcing the illusion that his lifestyle was the result of hard work and entrepreneurial brilliance. However, behind the glittering facade, there was a glaring absence of any legitimate source of income. Hushpuppi claimed to be a real estate mogul, but there were no records of his involvement in any real businesses. He had no tangible products, no visible clients, and no verified earnings to support his lavish expenditures. The reality was far darker. His fortune was built on elaborate scams, cyber fraud, and an intricate network of cyber criminals that spanned continents, exploiting global financial systems. The power of illusion. Why did people fall for Hushpuppi's persona? Hushpuppi's rise to fame as an influencer was no stroke of luck. It was a calculated strategy rooted in his deep understanding of social media's psychological pull. In the age of Instagram, where perception often outweighs reality, he mastered the art of curating a life that others could only dream of. His feed was a visual feast of opulence, with high-definition images showcasing him draped in Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Versace, often posing beside gleaming Rolls Royces, Ferraris, or inside private jets. These iconic luxury symbols were not just accessories, they were deliberate props in his narrative of success. What set him apart was his ability to craft a story around these images. Each post carried captions that blended confidence, ambition, and inspiration. He often wrote about his hustle and how determination and vision had propelled him to extraordinary heights, persuading his audience to believe he was a legitimate, self-made entrepreneur. Hushpuppi understood the human desire for success and admiration, and he positioned himself as a role model for millions who aspired to wealth and fame. Through this carefully crafted persona, he didn't just build a following, he built a fan base. People admired, envied, and even aspired to emulate him, unaware of the dark truth behind his glittering empire. But why did so many people believe him? The answer lies in the allure of wealth and success. In a world dominated by social media, where appearances often matter more than reality, Hushpuppi's followers saw what they wanted to see. For those struggling to make ends meet, his life seemed like proof that rags to riches stories were possible. For others, it was a lifestyle to admire or envy. Hushpuppi's genius lay in his ability to weaponize consistency on social media, using it to weave an almost impenetrable illusion of wealth and success. His posts weren't random snapshots of luxury, but chapters in a carefully curated story that chronicled his supposed rise to the top. He captured moments of indulgence, shopping sprees at Los Angeles' iconic Rodeo Drive, exclusive dinners at high-end restaurants, and celebrations drenched in champagne at the most elite clubs. Each post was a meticulously chosen piece of the puzzle, designed to reinforce the image of a man living the ultimate dream. This relentless documentation gave his life an air of authenticity. Followers began to believe that no one could maintain such a facade without it being genuine. With each post, Hushpuppi solidified his narrative, making his luxurious lifestyle seem attainable. By keeping his audience engaged with regular updates, he blurred the lines between fiction and reality, drawing countless admirers into his fabricated world. Hushpuppi's relentless need to flaunt his wealth was both his greatest asset and his ultimate downfall. While his Instagram posts drew millions of followers who admired his opulent lifestyle, they also caught the attention of international investigators. Each post contained details that became crucial evidence in uncovering his web of crimes. From the luxury cars he posed with to the private jets he boarded, every image was a breadcrumb for law enforcement agencies to trace. He frequently shared photos that included subtle yet incriminating details, such as email addresses, phone numbers, and receipts linked to fraudulent activities. Investigators meticulously analyzed these digital footprints, connecting them to a network of scams and money laundering operations. Unbeknownst to Hushpuppi, his obsession with showcasing his ill-gotten gains became the very tool that unraveled his empire. His stage for admiration ultimately transformed into a spotlight exposing his criminal empire, the Scam Empire. How Hushpuppi operated his fraud network. At the core of Hushpuppi's criminal empire was the use of business email compromise (BEC) scams, one of the most insidious forms of modern cyber fraud. These scams target organizations by impersonating trusted individuals, such as CEOs, suppliers, or business partners. By exploiting established trust, scammers like Hushpuppi deceived employees into authorizing large financial transactions to fraudulent accounts. BEC scams are particularly effective because they prey on human psychology and organizational protocols. The scammers often use urgent, high-pressure requests to bypass standard verification processes, convincing victims to act quickly. By infiltrating email systems and mimicking legitimate correspondence, Hushpuppi's network seamlessly executed these fraudulent transactions, stealing millions from unsuspecting companies. This high-level manipulation formed the backbone of his billion-dollar crime network, with his scams reaching staggering financial scales. One of his most infamous schemes targeted a prestigious New York law firm. By impersonating a legitimate client, Hushpuppi and his associates crafted convincing email communications that deceived a paralegal responsible for handling large financial transactions. The paralegal, believing the requests were genuine, unwittingly transferred $923,000 into an account controlled by Hushpuppi's network. The funds were quickly laundered through a maze of international transactions, vanishing almost instantly into his illicit financial web. In another brazen attempt, he set his sights on an English Premier League soccer club, planning to steal an astronomical $124 million. This scheme involved similar tactics of email impersonation. However, unlike the New York law firm scam, this heist was thwarted before the funds could be transferred. Nevertheless, it exposed the audacity and global reach of his operations, showcasing how no target was too big for Hushpuppi. These cases not only highlighted his technical skills and ability to exploit human vulnerabilities, but also his unrelenting greed and determination to push the boundaries of cybercrime. He collaborated with a global team of hackers, money mules, and accomplices, each playing a critical role in his schemes. The hackers were responsible for crafting and deploying phishing emails, fraudulent messages designed to deceive targets into revealing sensitive information, such as login credentials or financial details, making them highly convincing. Once they infiltrated company systems, they gained access to critical financial data, such as account details and ongoing transaction records. This information was used to impersonate high-level employees or business partners that authorized fraudulent wire transfers. To ensure the stolen funds couldn't be easily traced, Hushpuppi employed money mules, individuals who transferred or withdrew the money in small increments across multiple accounts. The laundered funds were then funneled through shell companies and cryptocurrency exchanges, making it nearly impossible to track their origins. By using these decentralized and largely unregulated financial channels, Hushpuppi effectively erased any trace of the money's illicit beginnings. The complex web of collaborators and laundering techniques enabled him to execute scams of staggering scale. The $1 billion linked to Hushpuppi scams isn't mere sensationalism. His operations weren't limited to one country or sector. They spanned continents, targeting businesses, individuals, and even institutions across North America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. From multinational corporations to small businesses, no victim was too large or too small for his audacious schemes. Each scam added another layer to his empire, amplifying the financial devastation left in his wake. Hushpuppi's network exploited vulnerabilities in financial systems and human trust, siphoning millions from unsuspecting victims. These losses often had ripple effects. Companies were forced to cut jobs, employees lost savings, and reputations were irreparably damaged. The sheer volume of scams, each contributing to the billion-dollar estimate, underscores how extensive the operations were. Hushpuppi's global fraud empire was a financial hurricane, leaving destruction wherever it struck. The dramatic downfall. How did authorities catch Hushpuppi? For years, Hushpuppi managed to stay one step ahead of law enforcement, operating from Dubai with a mix of cunning and arrogance. Dubai's reputation as a haven for luxury and its relatively lenient stance on financial oversight made it the perfect base for his operations. The city's glitzy lifestyle offered both a shield and a playground for his criminal endeavors. From his luxurious apartment at the Palazzo Versace to high-end boutiques and elite nightclubs, he lived a life that few would question. But behind the glamour, law enforcement agencies were closing in. Investigators analyzed his posts, looking beyond the luxury cars and designer outfits to the small details often overlooked. These included email addresses and phone numbers visible in some images, as well as receipts for extravagant purchases that were tied to suspicious financial transactions. Each post became a piece of the puzzle, linking him to a global network of scams. The evidence revealed a stark contrast between his claimed identity as a real estate mogul and his actual role as a cyber criminal. Over time, these critical leads built a case that would ultimately dismantle his empire and bring him to justice. In 2020, global law enforcement agencies combined their resources to launch Operation Fox Hunt 2, an ambitious and meticulously planned effort to take down Hushpuppi's sprawling cybercriminal empire. The operation was a collaboration between the FBI, Interpol, and Dubai police, reflecting the global nature of his crimes. With the scams affecting victims across multiple continents, it became clear that dismantling his network required extensive international coordination. The investigation relied heavily on digital forensics. Investigators scrutinized his online activities, meticulously analyzing the social media posts, emails, and financial transactions linked to his network. His extravagant lifestyle and careless flaunting of wealth provide crucial clues, including connections to fraudulent accounts and communications. By the time the operation culminated, authorities had uncovered over 100,000 incriminating files stored on Hushpuppi's devices. These included email addresses, login credentials, and transaction histories, all tied to scams targeting businesses, governments, and individuals worldwide. This treasure trove of evidence exposed the vast scale of his operations, with his network orchestrating phishing schemes, business email compromise scams, and money laundering. If this story fascinated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gripping crime stories. And remember, stay alert online, because the next scammer might already be targeting you.